just a little video I'm doing, chilling on the sun today, and was having a little thought about, the whole mushrooms and DMT stuff, the way that people think of them as like heavy drugs. In a way, they are heavy drugs because it's heavy for the body and the mind and the emotions to handle. But the thing I've realized more and more is when it comes to DMT, lucid dreams, mushrooms, when it comes to synthetic LSD, that's just for parties and festivals. That's nothing important. That's just like visuals. And the thing with LSD is that it kind of like short circuits your emotions and makes everything go crazy. But with mushrooms, your emotions seem to be more open and you seem to be a lot more in tune with your mind and your emotions. So I find mushrooms way better than LSD, especially on a small dose where you can kind of just reach the higher state of your mind and kind of, yeah, just observe life and observe yourself more, because when you're on mushrooms, your mind's more sensitive, so you're able to like reach back in the back of your head, like in the back of your memories, figure out some traumatic stuff. That's why it's been researched to be really good for trauma. Same thing when it comes to no, not LSD, just weed and mushrooms. They really help with just healing and traumatic stuff. Weed really helps me with relaxing, eating, sleeping, helps with my migraines. We have a family of epilepsy, so it just affects that part of your brain. And with DMT is lucid dreams and DMT, they are very similar in a way that when you're lucid dreaming in a DMT realm or dimension, you are not in your physical body, and you are just you're not in your physical body, and so your senses aren't as in tuned. So that's why when you're in the DMT world or lucid dreaming, you don't really you can't really like see yourself in a mirror, you can't really make out faces that well, but your brain does help a little bit for sure. It's just that you have to put in a little bit of the work, no doubt. And so just cleaning a little pipe for my weed later, right? But yeah, I mean, with all these things, you got to do it in moderation. So that's the thing that most people find negative about drugs. I mean, when it comes to mushrooms and weed, I find that way different when it comes to like crack, MD, all that sort of stuff, because those drugs are just like for fun. And same with benzos, they just kind of like make you forget the day, they make you enjoy the day. They're just for parties, like festivals. Same with Nangs, jungle juice, that sort of stuff. Those are like dumb drugs that there's no purpose to it. But weed and mushrooms, there's a purpose to it, especially DMT. DMT's right here, in us. DMT is in us, and it's connected to our pineal gland and just mostly most of our brain. DMT helps us just connect with everything. So I thought I'd just do this little video. I might post it on YouTube at some point to kind of like connect with people and like let people know that, I use these things for like just medical uses, and I don't use it for anything else. I don't like seeing people that just take, like my mate, he's I'm not gonna mention his name, of course, but he's doing a lot of stuff with like cactus and mescaline, those sort of things, like when it comes to extracting the mescaline out of the cactuses. What is it, San Pedro? Yeah, that's a really good one. And yeah, then there's other like honey LSD, those sort of things. Like there's natural LSD, but a lot of the synthetic ones I don't really trust them, because they're just for parties and they kind of short circuit your emotions. They don't really act exactly the way mushrooms do. That's why people like say they're so different. And for someone that hasn't had psychedelics before, they probably don't understand that until they have taken it, because what psychedelics help you with is just opening your mind, opening your emotions, connecting with people, understanding yourself. Because if you do go into a fear hole or have a bad trip, I've had that before where I've gone into a fear hole with DMT. This was just before I started getting into the whole tripping part of it. I was tripping a lot, but it wasn't like with DMT, your entire visual goes away. So your entire visuals of what the physical world was before is just gone, because your physical body's still there, but your mind, your soul, your spirit is moving on to like a different dimension. Because a lot of people, they don't even feel their body, they don't sense their physical body. All they sense is what they see with their spirit, and the fact that you can't really look in a mirror on lucid dreams. I don't know why, but I assume it's just because your mind has a bit of trouble processing what you actually look like without seeing it. Like, your brain doesn't have eyes to see. I mean, technically it does, but not, physical human eyes and a physical human body that it can process. So I've always had trouble looking in the mirrors in my lucid dreams. But either way, this is a 4-minute video, and I'm probably not going to edit this, just post it freely like this, because I haven't done a YouTube video in a while. I was thinking about doing like a Billy challenge day where I just smoke as many cones as I want. And to, get people knowing I do have medical weed, so I use that for migraines, anxiety, depression. I get very overstimulated when it comes to me being on the spectrum at ADHD, so Yeah, I find weed just helps me relax. Because when I'm trying to go to bed, the ADHD mindset just keeps me firing. Like you can tell with the way I'm speaking, it's a bit manic, a bit fast, maybe a bit hard to process. But as long as I can pronounce my words and don't get too dyslexic, then I'm okay. Because, yeah, dyslexia and autism definitely made me struggle when I was younger. Like with school, just learning things, I always process things differently, processed emotions differently. So when friends or family would pass away, I'd cry a bit, but my emotions were always unregulated. And nowadays they're more regulated, where I'm like, okay, I can naturally cry, naturally get angry, but when I'm angry, I'm more logical. When I was a kid, being on a spectrum, your emotions are all over the place. So you just like the mood swings and the triggers really get to you, and you get super paranoid, thinking everyone's just against you, the whole world's against you. Like even if people aren't bullying you, even if people love you, you still feel like people hate you. You don't feel that love within yourself because you don't have that self-love. That's what I've been working on for the last 2 years. That's what mushrooms have really helped me realize, is that, wow, I do have enough self-love to give to myself and the whole fucking world, the whole earth. Sorry for swearing. Hopefully YouTube doesn't cancel me for that, even though I haven't posted in like 2 or 3 years. I think the last video was with my ex-girlfriend. I was doing like a teaching her to skate thing, and then before that was like probably 18 years, and I was doing like 18 tricks downstairs. But yeah, to give an update, if anyone does follow my Instagram, underscore big underscore les underscore, because my name's Leslie Morrison, so might as well be Big Les, right? And yeah, so I got my ankle here, and I had to get ankle reconstruction on June the 4th. Sorry, I'm showing my foot. But yeah, it's not looking too swollen. For the last 2 years, it's been like just torn tendons. I had torn Achilles about 2 years ago, where I tore all my tendons and ligaments, and when I got an ultrasound, they were just like, yeah, your ankle's pretty fucking gone. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to do a little recovery. And then a month later, I was skating again. But you guys see how I can talk really fast, get a bit manic. And that makes it tough to talk to people, because sometimes I get super excited talking to people. Like, I mean, I was pretty shy till I was about 8. Well, I mean, I've been shy my whole life. I'm still shy now, but I mean, when I was 8, that's when I started talking. That's when I started breaking my shell a little bit. That's because I was like bullied and had a lot of traumatic experiences. Like, my mum's awesome, I love her, but she just didn't have the best taste in men. So that made us have a pretty bad environment, the both of us. Like, she didn't realize it. That's the thing with like narcissistic people and manipulative people, that they can catch you whenever. They can make it seem like they're the most loving person, but really there's like something deep in them that just makes them, I don't know, a hateful person or manipulative, narcissistic. So I had to deal with that a lot of the time. When I was about 8 to 18, there was like the worst guy. He was like, because mum and dated this one guy who was like obviously toxic, but then this other guy, he kind of hided it for a long time, and so he would have mood swings like me. That's where I kind of like picked up all my mood swings, was the fact that he'd be calm most of the time. He'd be chilling, doing his work, making his money, loving us and all that, and then he'd have a mood swing, and that would make him change, and that rage would almost, like, that would go way beyond a point than we could ever imagine. That happened probably about 10 times until one night when he just, I mean, he's kind of like a child. He's never really, like this guy's name's Tim Wilson, and I will get his name out there because this guy is an absolute dickhead. I mean, yeah, he really hurt me and mum, so we left eventually. But either way, that's not the point of this whole story. It's more just about, well, I guess it is, yeah. It's about me talking about my journey and the fact that, psychedelics has helped me, and weed for sure, but don't ever abuse these drugs, guys. I want you guys to know that, I only take them for medical use, and you should too. If you're a bit scared when it comes to DMT, I'd say talk to a Reiki master, go out to, the Japanese mountains and go talk to a Buddhist monk and just sit in nature for a while. Like, they'll guide you through it. And seriously, like, if you don't believe in Buddhism or Hinduism, that's okay. You can just be with those people. Like, just learning how to be with people instead of just creating some sort of instead of building some sort of distance from people because they believe in something else, just connect with them. Just instead of being like, oh, I'm Christian, you're Catholic, we can't be friends. It's just like, we both appreciate life, and the fact that, when it comes to Jesus, my process of that is just the fact that he was an entity of God put into a human form, ready to teach us, and then he got killed because people were too scared, overstimulated by his power, by his knowledge maybe. Because it doesn't even have to be like, oh, his name was Jesus or something. There's just people out there that have had, the gods or our entities like Yahweh, like, he's in our DNA. So, I mean, he could just give us more power, because we are not just these human physical forms. We can live physical lives for sure, but I think when it comes to our emotional state, our soul, our spirit, our consciousness, when it comes to the human life, you have the start of, you know, 0 years to 100 years, and then that body decomposes and it kind of continues to live through the ground and the plants and life. So you still be on earth in some sort of way, but then what happens to your spirit, your consciousness? Does that continue to live? Does that continue to go through either a cycle where you continually just keep living a cycle of physical life where you're just in a meat suit for a while until you figure out something? Because I think the whole point with life is having a pure soul, knowing yourself, knowing everyone, understanding that we are all one, we are all connected, we all came from the same God or entity or place. And so all we need to do is just connect and unite. And I feel like a lot of the world, when it comes to certain governments or corporations, like even corporations are more powerful than governments these days. And like Facebook, for example, you know, like they divide people, they conquer, and all they want is money and power. They're pretty greedy about it. Not everyone is, not everyone in the government is bad, but, you know, I'd say a lot when it comes to the secret societies, you know, with the CIA experiments, and then, you know, Jesuits and whatnot, and like, what's the other, like, secret societies? I mean, there's obviously the Illuminati, which is a whole thing to that. I mean, the Illuminati back a couple hundred years ago was some sort of just, you know, group of, I think it was mostly Jewish people back then, and they were just together trying to conquer the world, something like that. I don't really have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the Illuminati, so you guys don't have to believe literally anything I'm saying. I'm just telling you my life story and what I've learned. But the biggest experiment that I'm pretty ashamed of that's happened in society, I mean, not just when it comes to, you know, Jewish people cutting the foreskin off kids. Like sometimes they have their, bar mitzvah, which they have when they're a teenager, but some Jewish traditions, they would, cut the foreskin when they're, you know, pretty much just fresh born. And the whole theory behind that is the fact that they would extract the blood out of the baby's dick, and then because of how scared that baby was, like when you're an adult, you have like adrenaline running through your body, but when you're a kid, it's a bit more, it's called adrenochrome. It's like, and if you take that as like a fluid or as like a shock thing, like an immunity shot, it's literally an immunity shot, except from the blood of a baby's dick. That's all pretty much theorized. I mean, the only thing that can confirm is that, you know, some Jewish traditions, they do just cut the blood off the babies. They do, you know, drink the blood out of a baby's dick, and it's like, that's pretty fucking absurd. That used to happen back in the day. I think there's only a couple old Jewish people that still do that. Do I still have coffee in me? No, I don't. This video has been going on for 12 minutes and I've just been yapping and yapping, but it's about my whole life, you know. On YouTube, like the whole vlogging thing, I don't think I ever really got too real. Like I tried to a bit, but I don't really know how to communicate. And now I do, because I've given myself that self-love and that good environments, good diet, everything like that. So I hope this video has helped some people realize, you know, something about themselves and whatnot. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a lovely day and enjoy Earth. Remember, if you're having any struggles or withdrawals or mood swings, just attach yourself to nature, your friends, family. I like to swim, play basketball, skateboard. I find even just working helps. I love being out on this farm here. It's like 250 acres just full of nature and trees, birds, animals, the sun. And if you connect with other things, you'll be able to find it a lot easier to, just break that attachment to, let's say, alcohol, cocaine, or those sorts of things, those heavy drugs where you just like, because alcohol is considered like a heavier drug. I mean, it's a poison that does affect you. I mean, it affects your liver, your bladder, and your health, mental health perspective on things. But that's only if you have too much. If you're only having like, I don't know, 2 beers a day or something, then you're fine. But if you're, you know, having a bottle of Bundy every night, then yeah, it's pretty fucked. But I've got to stop swearing, because I want this video to go up. I want it to get a good influence. So hope it has taught you guys something. And I'm Leslie Morrison, signing out. Yeah, enjoy your lives, guys. Much love.